And here's the thing about all this, I'm not too sure what I expected Kalen Deboer to say, but I can promise you this much, I didn't expect him to say all that. He took it to a different level, and I, for one, happen to like it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope you're staying warm out there because that polar vortex and Arctic front, it's coming through and it's going to be very cold to say the least. But that is besides the point. You are not here for the weather. This is a college football channel and we guys talk about the big time news involving no other than Alabama's new head coach, Kalen Deboer. Look, I don't have time to waste. You don't have time to waste either. If you like the content, consider subscribing. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. It is what it is. We got to get straight into it. I just got done watching Alabama introduce Kalen Deboer as the new head coach and I got a lot to say about it. Obviously, I hope y'all would know this. It's not quite as simple as Greg Byrne goes, hey, this is our new football coach, and that's it. He doesn't say anything. No. They normally give a speech, and he gave a interesting speech, to say the least. It said a lot about his personality. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section if you watch his speech or you're going to and you're going to see some of the clips in this video. Let me know what you think about it and what you think about what he said. Me personally, I was somewhat shocked with what Kalen Deboer said, and I didn't expect him to say this. The whole introduction, at least the part where he was talking, well, how long did it take? I think it was about 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And I'm not going to break down every single minor detail that he said because we'd be up here for the next 2 or 3 hours. But here's what we are going to do. I'm going to show you some of the points that stuck out to me. There was one word he threw out there that I like, and it's embrace. And here's what he had to say. Matt wrote a clip.
I'll bring to you. One of them's embrace. And I think you get the sense that embracing the tradition and embracing the athletic department is something that's very special to me. I also want you to know that you as a community, everyone here, I can't wait for my family and I to embrace you. I want to make sure our alumni know that I'll embrace them and that this will always be their place. This will always be their home. I know that so many have gone through and played for Coach Saban, and that should not change as far as how they feel about this place. And we need you. And, you know, the investment hours that have been put in by me compared to what has made this place what it is, for me, it's very little.
Man, oh man, I can't tell y'all enough how much I love what he just said there. You gotta think about this. This is a man who just got hired to the best job in the nation in all of college football. There's some ego to that because, yeah, you gotta be feeling on cloud nine. You're the head football coach of Alabama. And already he's put his pride and ego aside and saying, hey, I want the alumni to be heavy involved in. I am minuscule compared to everyone else that has built up this program. The humility he showed in this press conference, the introduction, whatever you want to call it, it was amazing to see, and I love it. And my favorite part about this, and I'll get to this in just a second, is the fact that he is embracing the word he used, embracing the challenge of being the head coach of Alabama. He's not running away from it. No. He likes the pressure, and he even stated that it is a privilege to be held to the highest of standards. And here's another thing I want to address. He stated that Nick Saban has 100% access to the operations. And he also stated that he wants Nick Saban to give him advice on a regular, everyday basis. And this is great because it goes back to this mentality. He's not coming in here all cocky like he's the man. Oh, I can do it by myself. No. He wants the help. And it goes back to the word he used, embrace. He's not running away from the fact that people are going to say, oh, he's a Nick Saban shadow. No, there's nothing to run away from. Just embrace it. Yeah, Nick Saban was a great head coach, and I hope I can replicate the same success. And I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Before Alabama hired Mr. Kalen Deboer here, I've heard him talk maybe about a minute and a half, and that was just from the championship game against Michigan. Outside of that, didn't hear him talk too much, didn't know anything about him. And now after watching and listening to this 20-minute introduction that he did, I respect him 10 times even more, and I love him 10 times even more. I cracked a smile while he was giving his speech. It was that good. He said all the right things. He said every single thing that I wanted to hear and every single thing I think every Alabama fan wanted to hear. He talked about how he wanted the players not just to be strong physically, because that's the Alabama standard, but be strong mentally. Also added in there, we want to have high integrity, high moral guys. We want to do things the right way. We want a great head coaching staff and so many more things. And here's the craziest part about this. I'm sure he thought about what he was going to say, but you couldn't have scripted a better speech. It wasn't too short, wasn't too long, said what he needed to say, but didn't say too much. I'm going to put it to you like this, and I really want you to think about this. Please, if you don't listen to a single part of this video, listen to this part. He addressed a lot without saying a lot. He answered every single question that everybody's had up until this point without overdoing it, and a lot of people can't do that. And here's the thing about all this. I'm not too sure what I expected Kalen Deboer to say, But I can promise you this much, I didn't expect him to say all that. He took it to a different level, and I, for one, happen to like it. It's almost like he was intense without screaming. I think that's a good way to put it. Very vocal about what he wants to do and what he wants to accomplish, and I like the intensity, because that's what we need. Intensity nonstop. I told you guys in a video last night, dominate. That is my message to Kalen Deboer. Dominate, dominate, dominate. We ain't going back to mediocrity. I ain't settling for it. I won't settle for it, and it's not going to happen. I'm not even putting that energy out into the world. Alabama's going to continue to dominate, whether Georgia fans, whether Auburn fans, Tennessee fans, LSU fans, no matter what type of fan you are, whether you like it or not, we're dominating. Like Deboer said, we got to have good energy, good attitude, and good effort, and the rest will take care of itself. I'm liking what I'm hearing, okay? I'm liking what I hear, but anybody can talk the talk. Here's the real question. Can he walk the walk? I've met a lot of people in this life that are good at talking, but they're not very good at walking. If you know, you know. But getting back to Deboer's speech here, I like how he acknowledged Bear Bryant, and of course, you know he was going to acknowledge Nick Saban. And I don't know too much about the guy quite just yet, but from what I can tell and what I've seen and what I heard, he seems like a class act. And another thing I really love about this guy, let me throw in there just between me and you, I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about him. That's always a good sign when you get a head coach and there's no rumors and allegations and anything like that going on. With some other programs, they've hired some guys that are, sketchy, to say the least. And you can do what you want with your imagination on who I'm referring to there. I told you guys the reason I love Nick Saban at Alabama isn't just because of the championships he's brought to us, but it's because he was a great person, and you don't see that a lot. You don't see too many great head coaches who are also great people. Nick Saban has built this program up to the tippy of the top, but he's also done it in the right way, and I hope Deboer continues that tradition, and I believe he will. And the great thing about Deboer is he's not having to build up some terrible team and program. No. He's just got to maintain it. Granted, much harder said than done, but it's an easier task than when Saban got there. And I know some people are going to say, well, Matt, how are you going to say it's easy? It's not easier with the NIL and transfer portal. Look, we're not getting into all that right now. You know what I mean when I say it's easier. He's taken over a team that has been at the top of college football for the past 15 years, whereas Nick Saban took over a team that just flat out sucked. When Saban took over Alabama, I believe they were still under probation. If not, they just got off of it. Limited scholarships. The talent was awful. The coach staff was awful. It was a complete gut. You know, when you remodel a house, that's what Saban had to do. He had to gut the entire house and pretty much just knock it down, and you're starting with the cinder blocks. Well, with Deboer here, the only thing you're doing to this house is you're putting in a new window. That's it. You got a little bitty tiny crack in your front window, and you're like, I don't really need to fix it, but might as well. I got some time today. That's the greatest example and analogy I can give you, and it seems like Alabama fans, I've only heard them talk good about him as well, now that I think about it. I haven't seen one Alabama fan that has been opposed to Kalen Deboer. And maybe there's some out there, but I haven't seen too many of them. And let me also throw this in there. I've seen a lot of people throw out this narrative that, Kalen Deboer is just Brian Harsin 2.0. You know what I got to say about that? If you believe that, honestly, if you seriously believe that and you're not trolling, you're delusional and you sound dumb. So shut up, buddy. How about that? Comparing Brian Harsin and Kalen Deboer is laughable. Kalen Deboer just took a Washington team to the 4-team playoff. All right, last time I checked, Brian Harsin didn't do that. So let's just end off that conversation there. And we'll talk about that maybe later in the week or later tonight. I'm going to be updating you guys by the hour. You know, it's a hectic day and it's been a hectic past 72 hours. Let me know your thoughts down below. But